When AI touches a patient encounter, who authorized it? And when your buyer asks your team that question, what do you say? Imagine that a patient gets a message from their provider's portal. It looks official and it sounds right, but here's the thing. Nobody on the care team wrote it, and AI did. And nobody can tell you which AI, which version, who approved it, or whether it was even authorized in the first place. Now, imagine your health tech product is one of 15 AI tools running inside that same health system. When that hospital's compliance team comes knocking, and they will, is your sales team ready to answer? Because most aren't. Health systems have adopted many AIs, often one tool at a time, one department at a time, with different vendors, different models, with almost no central visibility into what each AI is actually authorized to do. And when something goes wrong, like a message that shouldn't have gone out, or a code that shouldn't have been suggested, the audit trail either lives with the vendor or it just doesn't exist at all. A single patient visit might now be touched by AI at the scheduling layer, the documentation layer, the coding layer, the messaging layer, and the prior authorization layer. The reality is, by the time that scales, one single encounter could involve 15 to 25 different AI actions. The problem is that no one built the accountability layer under it. There's no central record of which AI was authorized to do what, under what policy, using which model version, and at what point in the workflow. That's called self-attestation, and it's not going to pass a compliance review. I have spent years coordinating care for people that I love and care about, including my late spouse who passed away at the age of 42. He had multiple specialists, multiple portals, and was served by more health systems that I can count. So imagine my horror when I got a happy birthday, George email to my phone number, what would have been his 45th birthday if he had lived. Yeah, very triggering. Now, sometimes AI-assisted communication is faster and just as good. This experience with AI that wasn't authorized is scaling into a systemic issue. Patients and caregivers receive AI-generated communications without even knowing it. Providers are co-signing documentation that they didn't fully author, and health systems are absorbing liability for decisions they may not be able to trace back to an authorized source. So the question of who approved this is not just a caregiver's question. It's a procurement question, a compliance question, and a board-level question. If you're a health tech vendor, then your buyers like CMOs, CCOs, and IT leaders at the health systems you're selling to are starting to ask questions that didn't show up in procurement conversations a few years ago. Things like, can you tell me exactly what your AI is authorized to do within our workflow? What happens when your model is updated? How do we get notified? How do we verify that your tool is operating within the policy boundaries we set? And if something goes wrong, where does the audit log live? With you or with us? If your sales team is not prepared to answer these questions, the deal doesn't just stall. It quietly dies while your champion loses confidence and can't build the internal case to move forward. Your product may have the best AI in the space, but if your content, your sales deck, your one-pagers, and your demo narratives aren't built to answer the governance question, then you're leaving the buyer without the language they need to say yes. Vendors think they just need strong AI. Nope. You have to have content that translates your AI governance story into buyer-ready language. Compliance teams, clinical leaders, and the CFO who wants to know what happens when things go wrong. So how do you get ready to have this conversation about AI authorization? Don't worry, you don't have to be a compliance expert. You just have to make sure that your go-to-market content does 3 things. First, it has to name the problem that your buyer is already feeling, even if they haven't fully articulated it yet. If they're operating a health system with multiple AI vendors and no central authorization layer, then they already have this anxiety. Your content should surface it and give it language. That's what good sales enablement does. Second, your content needs to clearly articulate what your product is and isn't authorized to do. Not in some legal fine print that's buried somewhere that nobody's going to read anyway. Not in your terms of service. It has to be in plain language that a CMO can repeat in a meeting without needing your sales rep in the room. Think of it as your AI scope statement, a simple, clear, repeatable explanation of where your tool operates, what it doesn't touch, and who maintains the audit trail. Third, you need content that can help your champion sell internally. The person you pitch isn't always the final decision maker. They have to walk your governance story into a compliance meeting, a legal review, and a board update. If your materials aren't built for all that handoff, your champion is doing improv, and that's where deals fall apart. I've created a free resource called the 5-Day Health Tech Sales Audit. It's a free 5-day educational email course to help you find the leaks in your pipeline so deals stop going dark. You'll get a day-by-day breakdown of exactly what to analyze, from conversion rates to stakeholder gaps to process breakdowns. The link is in the description. Your job as a health tech leader is not to solve an infrastructure problem. That's somebody else's fight. Your job is to make sure that your go-to-market content, your sales enablement materials, and your buyer-facing messaging are ready for the governance conversation before your competitors do. If you want help auditing where you stand right now, the link in the description will take you to 5-day health tech sales audit. And drop a comment below and tell me, has your sales team been asked the AI authorization question yet? Tell me yes, no, or we didn't really know that that's what they were asking. If you like this video, watch this one where I talk about how health tech leaders are really annoyed that AI is adding more work to their workload instead of deleting it.